corner of Thomas and Chelsea in Memphis, Tennessee. Until recently, the site of American Studios, where Elvis Presley recorded Suspicious Minds, Kentucky Rain, and In the Ghetto. An international musical treasure reduced to mud. And now, another Memphis music landmark is threatened. At 926 East McLemore, the last vestige of the center pinnacle of the soul universe awaits obliteration. Time is running out for the Capitol Theater, home of Stax Records from 1959 until its death in 1976. Rufus Thomas, Memphis legend, patriarch of the first family of soul, began his association with the record label in 1960. When it was known as Satellite Records, Rufus remembers Stax.
In the beginning, it was seen as how that my daughter and I, Carla, we made the first hit record for Stax, one called 'Cause I Love You. And then came Carla with Gee Whiz, and which was a monster record. And then behind Carla came Walking the Dog. And then all along, and then the Funky Chicken hit like a ton of bricks. And right now, I cannot perform unless I do Walking the Dog and the Funky Chicken. I went down and I looked at the building. The building they had started rather to tear down the building without any authorization whatsoever. And I don't know about what's inside of the building, but it's what I hear, that the recording studio is still intact. And I feel like now that if Sun Records can be preserved in its studio that people still would like to know about, then Stax should fall right in that line, because different kinds of music came out of Stax that was not in Sun. You had people like Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Carl Perkins. All of these people came out of Sun Records. They were good musicians, good entertainers, who just happened to be white. We were great musicians over at Stax, who just happened to be black. So you draw your conclusions from there. Had it been just opposite, then Stax would have been preserved and Sun would have fallen apart. But Stax was the Memphis sound. If you went to Nashville and you heard music coming out of Nashville, you knew that that was Nashville music. You went to Detroit and you heard the sound that came out of Detroit. You knew automatically that that was the Detroit sound, what they called the Motor City sound. And the minute you came to Memphis and heard that sound that came out of here, it was automatic. You knew that was the Memphis sound. And I was more or less an innovator of the Memphis sound. And the others came along. But Stax was the Memphis sound. I can only hope that someone with the initiative who would really want to see Memphis back musically, until that time, it'll never happen. Somebody got to have the, if I had the money, I would do it. I don't have that kind of money. It's gonna take some money and some good ingenuity. But you get somebody like that who's dedicated and whose interest would be to preserve the Memphis sound and the Memphis music, then it could come back.
Time is tight, very tight for the Capitol Theater. Save Stax, save our soul.